If there is one question we get asked very often in the channel, it's this. I'm coming to Spain and Portugal, what do I put in my bag? And we usually answer with a question of our own. When are you coming? And exactly where are you going? Because here's the reality. Spain isn't just a tropical paradise and Portugal isn't always sunny. This is a huge peninsula. So to make this actually useful, we've done something extreme. We packed 3 different suitcases. One for the heat, one for the cold, and one for that tricky in-between season where you don't know if you need a swimsuit or a parka. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello and welcome to a channel made by humans. We're here to make your travels in Spain and Portugal happier with the help of our self-guided walking tours. And if you need extra help planning, check out our channel memberships. Members get priority replies to all their comments and questions directly from us. Before we unzip this first bag, we need to clear up the single biggest mistake travelers make, and that is assuming that Spain equals hot and Portugal equals beach. It is a trap. Your packing list is entirely dictated by 2 variables, the calendar and the map. Let's look at the map first. Most people don't realize that Spain is actually the second most mountainous country in Europe after Switzerland. Exactly. So if you are going to the Picos de Europa or the Pyrenees, you are essentially packing for the Alps. But if you are going to Almería or the Alentejo, you are packing for a desert climate. And then there is the when. Seasonality here is dramatic. Right, spring in Seville means 30 degrees, 86 Fahrenheit. But spring in Galicia or northern Portugal, that usually means raincoats and waterproof boots. So pause the video if you have to, look at your specific itinerary. Are you going north or south, interior or coast? Got it? Okay, now let's look at the 3 scenarios, starting with the one everyone expects. We've called scenario number 1 the furnace, summer. If you are visiting Seville, Córdoba, Zaragoza or the Alentejo in July, you need to understand that it is not just hot, it is an oven. You will obviously pack mostly short sleeves, short skirts and Bermuda shorts. But before we continue, here's rule number 1. Fabric is everything. We only pack linen and cotton, natural fibers. If you bring polyester to Seville in August, you will regret it immediately. I personally love linen shirts with the sleeves rolled up or down. They protect you from the sun but let the air in. And shorts are essential choices for these months. Now let's go head to toe, literally. For your head, anything protecting you from the sun is essential. The sun here is intense, so a hat isn't just fashion, it's a shield. Moving down to the feet, if you're heading to the beach, then flip-flops or sandals are obviously the way to go. But, and this is quite important, if you plan on walking a lot in the cities, flip-flops will kill your feet. Make sure you take comfortable closed footwear like canvas shoes. Now, we have 2 very specific rules of the road for Spain and Portugal. First, the cathedral rule. We have a heavy religious culture here. If you want to visit the monastery of Montserrat, the Seville Cathedral, or many other churches and cathedrals in Spain and Portugal, you generally need your shoulders and legs covered. You don't need a winter coat, just a light shawl that you can carry in your bag. You throw it on for the church and take it off when you leave. Easy. And the shawl, it will also help with your looks. Second rule, the beach versus the city. Please don't be that tourist in coastal cities like Barcelona or Malaga. Wearing a bikini top to the supermarket can actually get you fined. Save the swimwear for the sand and the seafront. And finally, the ultimate secret weapon, the abanico, or as you might call it, a hand fan. It will very often save the day. But a word of advice, those little buzzing electric fans, those are for the tourists. If you want to blend in here, you don't want a machine, you want craftsmanship. Here we use beautifully crafted wooden abanicos. Do as the locals do. Walk into any plaza in July and you will see the vast majority of women, and some men too, carrying a wooden fan. It's elegant, it's traditional, and it works. And the best part, they are battery free, so they will last for exactly as long as you have the energy to wave them. Now, before we close this suitcase, we need to warn you about the thermal shock. It might sound contradictory, but even in July, you must pack a light jumper or a cardigan. Why? Because while the street is an oven, shops, museums and hotel lobbies blast the air conditioning like it's a competitive sport. It's true. You walk in sweating and 5 seconds later, you feel like a penguin in Antarctica. So keep a light layer in your day bag. It's not for the weather, it's for the survival of the indoors. Okay, scenario number 2. We call this the freezer. People have this myth that the Iberian Peninsula is tropical year-round. It is not. Madrid is one of the highest capital cities in Europe. In January, it freezes. And if you go to northern Portugal, Porto, the Douro Valley, or Galicia in Spain, it rains a lot. So for this suitcase, we need to talk about the layering system. It starts with what you don't see: thermal underwear, base layers. Whether it's merino wool or synthetic heat tech, you need a top and bottom layer against your skin. When you are standing in line for the Prado Museum for 45 minutes in the shade, these thin layers are the only thing keeping you happy. Next, the mid layer, a fleece or a heavy wool sweater. This traps the heat. And now let's talk about legs. This is where people mess up. Because everyone packs jeans. And look, jeans are fine for style, but denim is basically cold, heavy cotton. If it gets wet in the rain, it stays wet and you will freeze. If you are going to the wet north, skip the jeans. Bring corduroys, wool blend trousers, or technical travel pants that dry quickly. Or if you must wear jeans because you love them, wear those thermal leggings underneath. Otherwise, your legs will feel like blocks of ice. Finally, the shell, a heavy water-resistant coat. A good coat is essential because, honestly, it's the only thing people will see you in for the vast majority of your photos. Another non-negotiable is the scarf. It keeps you warm in the wind, but it also dresses up an outfit if you are going to a nice dinner in a beautiful restaurant. And don't forget the extremities. A good beanie or wool hat is mandatory. The cold in the interior of Spain is dry and it cuts right through you. If your ears are exposed in January, you will be miserable. And gloves. People always forget gloves. But I assure you that if you're walking around Zaragoza on a windy winter day, your hands will freeze in about 5 minutes. So pack them both. They take up zero space, but you will thank us when you're standing in line for the bus at 9 a.m. If you pack like this, the freezer is actually a wonderful time to visit Spain and Portugal. Any time of the year is great for a quick coffee stop, but winter seems perfectly suited. A huge cheers to the amazing friends of the channel who've treated us to many cups of coffee. Honestly, that support through Buy Me a Coffee is what fuels our long research walks. If you'd like to say thanks, you will find the link right down in the first comment below the video. Thank you so much. Now let's unzip the final suitcase, the one that gives everyone a headache. Scenario number 3. We have the furnace, we have the freezer, and now we have the cocktail shaker. Because in spring and fall, the weather here throws everything into the mix. Sun, clouds, wind, and rain all in one day. It may start cold, then gets warmer, then a surprise shower hits you. So how do you pack for the cocktail shaker? You use the onion strategy. You need layers that are easy to peel off. We pack a base t-shirt, then a cardigan or light sweater, and finally the third piece. And don't forget to pack an umbrella. April showers are very real here. You need rain protection. A compact umbrella is classic. Or if you prefer to keep your hands free, a light foldable raincoat. It fits in your day pack, but when that surprise April shower hits you in Lisbon, it saves your outfit. And that applies to your feet too. Crucial point. In the cocktail shaker, you cannot trust the ground. You might leave the hotel in sunshine, but step into a puddle by lunch. So your footwear must be able to cope with rain. Leave the mesh running shoes or absorbent canvas for summer. If your feet get wet in the morning, you are miserable until dinner. Also, depending on your destination, pack one swimsuit. Just one. Yes, you might get a freak heat wave in May or October, or your hotel might have a spa. It takes up zero space, so just bring it. So the swimsuit is for the just-in-case moments. But now let's switch to the rapid-fire round. Exactly. These are the 3 accessory tips that apply to every trip, whether you are packing for the furnace, the freezer, or the cocktail shaker. Item number 1, your feet. Ladies, listen to me closely. Leave the stilettos at home. In Portugal, we have the calçada portuguesa, those black and white cobblestone mosaics. They are beautiful works of art, but they are also slippery, uneven, and they eat high heels for breakfast. You will twist an ankle. Do what the locals do, clean white fashion sneakers. They work for walking 20,000 steps, but they are stylish enough for a nice dinner. Moving up to the head, sunglasses, shades, mandatory, even in the freezer. The winter sun in the Iberian Peninsula is incredibly bright. If you don't pack them, you will end up buying a cheap pair at a tourist shop on day 1. And finally, security. In winter, it's easy. You have inside pockets in your coat or raincoat. That is the safest place for your phone and wallet. Or when the layers come off, you are vulnerable. Pickpockets are a real problem in tourist hubs here. So bring a crossbody bag or a sling bag, and it must zip close. Never put your valuables in an open tote or a loose pocket. Actually, we have an entire video right here on the channel explaining exactly how to make yourself invulnerable against pickpockets. It's a full survival guide. Make sure you study it carefully before you get on the plane. One final tip: don't pack the suitcase 100% full. You need space. You will want to bring back some of those items we talked about on the video about typical foods to take back home. Never mind the souvenirs and other purchases. Give yourself that buffer zone. And before we deal with the pressing issue of whether you are going to encounter the furnace, the freezer, or the cocktail shaker, if you truly want to experience Madrid, Barcelona, and other incredible Spanish destinations like a true local, let us be your guide. We designed our self-guided walking tours precisely so you can skip the clunky guidebooks and the crowded tour groups. They come packed with detailed itineraries, insider tips, and everything you need to discover the heart of each city. It's literally like having a local friend show you all the best hidden spots, the ones you won't find on a map. Give them a look and get ready to discover your new favorite corner of Spain. Now you're probably thinking, okay, furnace, freezer, cocktail shaker, I get it, the system makes sense, but there is one big question left. How do I know which one I am going to get? And here's the honest truth. The rules are changing. Weather anomalies are becoming more and more common here. We're seeing the climate in the Iberian Peninsula get warmer and wilder. We've had 30 degrees Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit in January in winter, and we have seen 42 degrees, 107 Fahrenheit in May, spring. The old calendars don't always work perfectly anymore. So use these 3 suitcases as your base structure, but to fine-tune your bag, you cannot guess. You need to check the weather forecast no more than 1 week before your flight. Any forecast earlier than that is just a guess. And because even reading a Spanish weather report can be tricky, we have a specific video right here on the channel. We explain exactly how to research the forecast, and after you check the forecast, we need to state one undeniable truth. The concepts of hot and cold are completely personal. Someone from Alaska is not going to feel the cold in Madrid the same way as someone from Florida. And the reverse is true for the heat in Cordoba. So use our furnace, freezer and cocktail shaker guide as your framework. But in the end, you have to pack for your own personal thermostat. We hope everything we've said along the video makes your packing easier. Let us know in the comments, are you team carry-on or team giant suitcase? On the screen you will see now a list of basic videos for a perfect trip to our countries. We're waiting for you from now on those videos.